Welcome to Armstrong High School, a chilly fall evening for the opening round of the Section 6AA Boys Soccer Playoffs. Tonight it's the number 5 seed Wayzata visiting the number 4 seed Armstrong. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Sig Ligry. And Sig, this section didn't start Tuesday in the rain like a lot of the sections did, but not exactly warm here for the opening round, and the players will have to adjust to that and deal with a little bit of wind tonight as well.
And so will we. It's cold. It's a bit windy. It's about 37, 38 degrees right now. So the players are going to feel it. The guys that are going to be most happy are the ones playing on the field, because if you're sitting on the bench, it's going to be chilly.
Wayzata, of course, defending state champion, but this year has been a little bit rockier than what they've been used to. They've had some key injuries to deal with, and they're a team that's just kind of trying to find their confidence right now heading into the playoffs, although I don't think anybody considers them an easy out at any point. They've had such a good program, and I think they're still a capable team.
Well, they are definitely more than capable. This team has such a good history of playing well. They have a great feeder program, good coaching staff, good players. As you said, they have some key people that are injured, but the rest of the team is pulling in, and maybe by now their confidence is back. They are not a pushover by any means, and Armstrong knows that.
Armstrong really closing the season well. They've had a lot of injuries to deal with too. It's almost been like a tale of two seasons for them. They didn't start out all that strong, but they come into the postseason now with a 6-game winning streak, and for the past several years, the idea that they would be seated higher than Wayzata and be at home for this game would have been kind of a pipe dream, but they're feeling it right now, and they feel like they have a very good chance to come out and win this one.
They certainly do. They have a lot of confidence. They're coming in high. They're on a 6-game winning streak. You can talk to the coach. You can feel that they're ready for it. They're anxious to play this team. They've always been the underdog. Now they're the upper dog, if you want to put it that way. So they're ready for them.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's game, and both of them are guys who have had some injury issues this year, but are both back and hopefully playing well. Ethan Wagner for Wayzata is one of their key guys.
Number 6, senior forward. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists. Very fast, obviously. I look for him to come up on top and take some good shots or some good passes.
And for Armstrong, Michael Arell's been a mainstay in this program for quite a while now. In fact, the visiting coach, Dominic Guinness, had nothing but great things to say about what Arell can do for this Falcons team.
Absolutely. He also recognized that Michael has a great fire plug, as he call it, attitude. He gets in there, gets the ball. He's a great midfielder because he knows how to read that defense. That's how he's got the 4 goals. And that's something that Wayzata is going to be, they'll be waiting for it.
There was a little bit of intrigue whether Patrick Weah would come back for Wayzata tonight, one of the best players in the state for sure. Been out all year with a knee injury. He is not suited up and not going to play in the postseason this year for the Trojans. Stay tuned. It is Wayzata and Armstrong coming up. The Section 6AA Boys Soccer quarterfinals get started on a frigid October evening here at Armstrong.
Did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
And welcome back here at Armstrong as these teams, both located in Plymouth, their schools, get set to renew their rivalry. Last time they met 2 years ago in this same round, the Section 6 quarterfinals. Wayzata at that time won 5-0 on their way to not only winning the section but getting to the state final that year. And, of course, last year breaking through and winning it all. And Armstrong has been tough to beat down the stretch. Some pretty good wins among those 6 wins at the end, too. I think beating Maple Grove was probably the most impressive out of that, but some other pretty decent teams that they beat then, too. Centennial and Park Center and Osseo among them as well. So We will see how these teams shape up. You can see the guys jumping around a lot, and it's to be pumped up for the game, but it's also to try and get their bodies warmed up a little bit here. It had to be a little bit of a shock when they walked out and got off the bus for Wayzata or walked out to the field for Armstrong just to feel how cold it is. It changed a lot even from a couple days ago when we had so much wet weather. Jake Ogle will put the ball in play for Wayzata as they are in the visiting white here, of course, and been quite some years since they were not at home in the first round of the playoffs. But as the number 5 seed this year, one spot behind Armstrong, they make the road trip. I guess if they're going to make a road trip, though, just to the other side of Plymouth is probably about as close as you can get.
It's a short hop.
Bennett Scheib, the keeper for Armstrong. Perrin King for Wayzata. Sent long up the left side here, and it's going to get out of play. Get a throw for Armstrong. Trojans trying to create a turnover, and now they do, and here's an opportunity early. Wow, and the giveaway nearly costing the Falcons there, but Scheib able to come up with the stop, and he will distribute it out right side here.
So right off the bat, Wayzata put some pressure on.
Here's a nice interception for the Falcons. Trim Wian, an exchange student, as you get a look at the starters on your screen here for the teams. Ogle coming up with it now for Wayzata. That one broken up. Trojans trying to regroup at midfield, and they put it on to Ogle again. He's challenged in there. Keeps possession though, and now we'll drop it back for Aiden McGugan. Serving one up toward Wagner, but too long of a run there, and it'll be a throw for Armstrong. Michael Burns will trigger it in here for the Falcons. You get a look at their lineup. Falcons gaining possession. Arell bouncing off of McGugan there. And a takeaway there as Sane pushes it up the left side here for Wayzata. Falcons getting there first. It'll be a throw for the Trojans as Stuart Sane gets set to bring it in play for Wayzata.
Take a running shot at it.
Nice takeaway there, and Armstrong able to work it back upfield, and then the foul will be called as Wian, the exchange student, tripped up after he made a nice takeaway with that. You get another look right there. He gets by, and then
it gets run over.
Falcons work it up the field. It'll be a throw coming here. Be interesting to see how much the wind is going to have an impact on tonight's game. Obviously, they're cold. That part we know, but in terms of how it's going to affect the flight of the ball, Michael Burns will trigger it in here again for Armstrong. Olin Fry picking it up. Now Arell leaving it. Back pass intercepted by Sane. And it was out of play, though. A throw coming here for Armstrong. A lot of these guys, on these teams have, played some summer soccer, played together a little bit growing up. And Dominic Duenas, the Wayzata coach, even telling us he had a couple of Armstrong's players in class when they were back in 5th grade, as he teaches in the Robbinsdale School District. So interesting note to see how they've grown up. Here's the Falcons generating a chance. Comes back out. Wian trying to gain control. And now a quick shot taken, and it'll sail wide of the mark. And a goal kick coming up as Perrin King watched it sail by. There are other keeper have been playing quite a bit. Viet Nguyen was injured in the Dyna game, and he is out. So the Perrin King, another junior, is now into that number 1 slot for the Trojans. Long boot here, Sane sending it ahead, but then hammered back the other way by the Falcons. Going to go away across field and out of play, though, and it's a throw for Wayzata. Jimmy Ostapek throwing it in and then flicked ahead.
I'm gonna need that for final comment. Need a reel.
Leave it here now for Mohamed Gubara, and he is able to give it back. Joseph Feinboy had his pocket picked, though, by Charles Casimir. And this one up the sideline, Ogle receiving. Sent ahead, and ooh, that one might have hurt. That was a pretty physical trip, and we are going to get a yellow card issued to Armstrong, and I'm not entirely sure which player it is.
Number 5, looks like coming off the field.
Yeah, Tim Wacker is going to get it. Watch this takedown here. Right there.
Yeah. Ouch, 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 ouch.
Especially on a cold day. I mean, we could hear it up here. The collision, it might have been, shin guards a little bit, but still, that one did not feel good. So it looks like it's Wacker who got the yellow card. Coming on now is Jack Halverson for the Falcons. Free kick here for Wayzata. No score. We're just a little less than 5 minutes into the contest here in the Section 6AA quarterfinals at Armstrong High School. The Armstrong Hopkins girls quarterfinal will be seen on CCX as well. Sane serving that one in. Here's off of Ogle's chest. And then he'll draw a corner kick as he tried to push that ball into the net. He got a lot of his chest on it, but just couldn't direct it home. This was a pretty point-blank chance here after it went off the Armstrong header. He chested it just a little too hard to be able to get to, though. And now Sane will take the corner.
Low shot, picked up by the keeper.
Scheib punching that one out. And then they headed back towards Sane down on the corner, and he got too much of that one and lofts it way over the top. Get a goal kick here for Armstrong as they quickly bring Wacker back into the contest. There's a look at Bennett Scheib, he's been banged up a little bit as well. But in there tonight, and certainly a keeper that they think highly of, as he is a possible Division I player, it sounds like, and considered one of the top goalies in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Knocked away briefly, but then Feinboy comes to get it. He's got great skill. Knocked away, but a follow-up here. Weon will drop it back now. Here comes Wacker. Wacker trying to play that one through. It's deflected by Adi Bhatti and then knocked out of play. A throw here for Armstrong. Gubara sends it in. Arel trying to spin there, but the D was ready for it. And knocked down out of there by Ben Lidke. And now a ball ahead. Here's a chance. Scheib coming way out. Wagner around him, and he scores. Ethan Wagner did not panic when the keeper Scheib charged at him. He just played it around him. And at that point, he had nothing but a wide open net to shoot for. And the Trojans strike first. Not that often you see a pure breakaway, and that's what they got right there. A nice ball played ahead.
That's a beautiful pass by Ogle, getting right way up there. Look at the steps around the keeper has. An easy shot to put it away.
So Ogle an assist, Wagner getting the goal in the 7th minute. And it is 1-0 Trojans as Scheib thought he saw an opportunity. Part of the genius of that pass, Tusig, was not hitting it too hard to give Scheib a chance to come out and swipe it.
Yep, he put it nice and gentle, right along the top of the grass. No panic. It was nicely set up. Armstrong now trying to get the equalizer.
Feinboy stepping to the middle. He'll distribute out wide to the right side here. Weon lofting one up.
This could be trouble.
Arel trying to gain control, and now he does. Turns, had a shot blocked, but it'll result in a corner. Blake Iyer staying with him, but Arel doing a nice job too of being able to go to the left foot there. Not a lot of guys are that confident in each foot shooting the ball. Arel, a screamer down low, and collision. It's going to be a push against Armstrong. Trying to work his way to the front was Nate Humphrey there, and he kind of ran somebody over a little bit. So Falcons, though, showing an ability to generate some offense, too. Yes, they, fell down 1-0 now, but it doesn't seem as though they're going to be, completely lacking in chances throughout the night based on what we've seen so far.
No, they're going to play their game, and they're not going to make any changes.
Out of play off of Sane. A throw coming here for Armstrong. Gubara plays it in and then kicked back into the Armstrong bench. They'll move up about 10 yards and do it again here. Gubara throwing it in for Arell. He's able to win that ball, and he was pushed.
Yeah, he drew a foul on that one.
He's not real big, but he's scrappy, and you could see right there a little bit. He was trying to force the issue, and then the Wayzata player came back and pushed him, and they both thought it was on the other, of course.
That's usually the second guy in, but you're right. Wagner has a way. Arell has a way of getting the ball past the defense.
It's going to be Arell now will take this free kick. Strong header to get it out of harm's way for the moment anyway, but Arell coming forward. He was knocked down. We'll have another foul against the Trojans and another free kick from a pretty similar spot, maybe a few yards further up. As you see Arell right there, Sane bumping him, and down he goes. So last time they had the third man in take the kick. Arell, we'll see, trying to keep that defense guessing. And Arell's going to rip it right into Sane. Now it comes back out, and then Gubara's try. He got underneath that. It looked a lot like the shot from Sane at the other end that sailed it way up and over the top. But Armstrong, as we said, you got to like some of the things that they've been doing here.
Yes.
They're not letting that goal get them down.
Not at all. And Arell is being just as aggressive if they were behind or ahead.
Blake Iyer putting his foot to it here for the Trojans. Controlled here by Giannis Mandravelis, and now Wian will get it over to Feinboy. Feinboy chipping one to the front. Pretty well read, though, by the D, as Iyer got a head on that one. Here's a long attempt that'll go way wide of the mark. We'll get a goal kick coming up here for Wayzata. Good battle in the early going here. Wayzata getting a goal on a breakaway by Ethan Wagner to take a 1-0 lead, but Armstrong has certainly gotten some chances since then. Looking on the end of the field as I was coming in, it's kind of interesting. You got the artificial turf surface, but those leaves are not artificial. They came off fast and furious off the trees over here to the east of the field.
Yeah, that's the real thing. Throwing for Falcons.
Tried to go to Feinboy, and that one knocked high in the air. Sane coming back to gain control. Got the pass ahead. He was tripped up. We're going to have a foul call, and actually they kind of waited to see what would be the result. It looked like Sane was tripped.
Yeah, it looked like the referee was waiting to see if that was going to be an advantage, but it called it anyway.
Ben Bader, he's swinging over left side now, and it's pretty good room to work this one to the middle. Battle for it, played up the line by Iyer, but it's going to get out of play. We get a throw here for Armstrong. You can sense early on, Sig, that, for the first time probably in a few years, that Armstrong, battle player for player, talent-wise, they can match up with Wayzata this year for sure, where that probably hasn't been the case in the last few. They obviously, they have some good players and all that, but the Wayzata had some really strong teams. But just looking out here and seeing what we're seeing so far, there's no clear-cut talent advantage for either team.
No, they're on paper. It's even up, and they're all playing with a lot of intensity.
Yeah, you can really tell it's a playoff feel. I mean, it's a different thing when it's your season's done if you lose. There's no double elimination, no second opportunity. It's win or go home. Sane taking that pass. And he was fouled. We'll have a free kick coming here for Wayzata. Armstrong talked about Sane and said they're going to be aggressive with him, and they're try and make him uncomfortable a little bit, not give him a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, we've seen Sane play before. He's very athletic, very skilled. So I don't blame them for marking up on him.
Here's Sane taking this free kick. Looked for the deflection in front, but Armstrong winds up with it. Nice step up though by Bader to keep that ball alive, and now Bader will loft one forward. Scheib's going to come out, and he'll make the sure-handed grab here. Bennett Scheib putting his foot to this one, gets a lot on it. Maybe a little windy, but still got it deep down the field. That can be quite a weapon in flipping the field for your team.
Puts you from defense to offense in a hurry.
And I think we had a sub. Yes,
yeah.
They threw it in quick before the sub was recognized. Maximilian Knott coming in for Armstrong.
Like, some of him might be already in place, but he's just not dead yet.
Trying to get a cross away, but Ostapek just wasn't going to fall for any of those little moves and stayed with it. But Wayzata quickly turns it over. It actually went out of play, so it'll be a throw for Armstrong. Wayzata rarely does that type of thing where they're a little careless with that throw-in.
Yeah, that's the kind of mistake you don't want to give up. You don't want to turn the ball over.
Here's Feinboy getting a step to the outside. Now cuts it back to the middle, tried to rip a shot, and it was Botti getting back to break that one up. It'll be a throw for Armstrong across the field here. Approaching 15 minutes into the game, and Ethan Wagner has scored the only goal of the match so far for Wayzata on a breakaway chance in which he sidestepped keeper Bennett Scheib, who charged out to try and snuff out the scoring chance. Jabbed away here, controlled by Falcons. Oof, that one might have hurt on a cold day, but Weon staying with it. Subbing in now for Wayzata will be Johnny Garcia. Again, if you're just joining us, Patrick Weah there's Cameron Opal, the Armstrong head coach, and was at Cooper before that, the third year over here at Armstrong. Patrick Weah, the All-Stater for Wayzata, who they had hoped to maybe get back for the playoffs, is not suited up tonight. He has been out all season with a knee injury suffered, I believe it was in the early spring. And so obviously that makes Wayzata a totally different team. He's that good and that talented a player, but they elected that he would not try to play in the playoffs. There's Dominic Duenas, the Trojans coach. Corner kick coming into the front here, and an opportunity nearly for the Trojans. Push to the outside, and a nice takeaway there as they not only took the ball away but kept it in play. Now Gabara. Harrell. And got it out in front of himself a little too far, and it ends up being a turnover. Trojans play it up the line here, and it's going to hug that line for quite a while, but then eventually go out of play. We get a throw for the Falcons. Sane getting control here for Wayzata. Plays Garcia. And the double team got there and they take it away. Not looking for a return here. Knocked away though, and Ostapek will bang it forward for the Trojans. And knocked ahead. Here's Ogle. It's onside. Another near breakaway here. Jake Ogle, though, the D catches up.
He slowed down.
And then jabbed away. It will be a corner kick. Ogle looked like he probably had time to really let a shot fly, but he wanted the perfect opportunity and maybe waited too long.
Yeah, I think he waited a little bit too long. Nice breakaway here. It's a one-on-one, then he slows down and allows the defense to get in there. I mean, he may not have had a great angle, but he could have taken a shot.
Out front, Scheib trying to punch it out, and we get a push called against Wayzata. I think if Jake had that one to do over again, he would have probably let that shot go. I don't think he realized that Wacker was getting back into the play. And you're right, he probably only really had, realistically about half the net to shoot at, but still from that distance, half the net's quite a bit.
That's a big net.
Scheib will bang it out of there. So Armstrong, overall has played pretty well, but boy, they've given up a couple of opportunities. One of them wound up in, and that one very well could have.
Yeah, that's something that they need to fix, because they're what? Here we go.
Ooh, an opportunity nearly the other way for not.
I was going to say the Armstrong defense they're allowing the players to come in behind them and getting these shots.
Perrin King will boot it out of there for the Trojans. Nice header to Arell now. Arell got the ball out front of himself a bit too far, but then Feinboy able to trap it down. Feinboy trying to spin away. And up the line it came, and it went out of play. You can see the Wayzata guys, I mean, they recognize he's quick and he's got some great moves, but you have to kind of just keep your eye on his chest or his midsection and don't be dazzled by the footwork and just stay in position.
Yeah, you'll get dizzy trying to watch that. Got to give credit to the Wayzata defense. They've only given up one really good shot on goal.
Now not picking it up here for Armstrong, and Bader got over there to break that up, but it will be a throw coming here for Armstrong. And Wayzata the last few years, we talked about, the earlier game that we did, that they had so much experience in goal and in their center D that it hasn't been quite the case this year. And it hasn't, you kind of just start to realize how fortunate they were the last few years with what they had back there. And
they had some incredible defensive players and goalkeepers.
Here's Wagner winning this ball. Now plays it out front. The deflection and a goal. Ogle. Great pass by Wagner, and this time Ogle hits it strong. Scheib got a little piece of it, but not enough to stop it, and it's 2-0 Trojans. Same combination in reverse working this time. Last time Ogle set up Wagner, and this time it is Wagner, a perfect cross. Ogle didn't have time to think about it this time. He just let it go immediately, and Scheib got a little piece of it, but not enough to stop it.
Just perfectly placed. Ogle being at the right place at the right time. There it is. Beautiful shot.
See, the defender was there too, but Ogle's pretty big and strong, and he just had about a half step on him and able to finish it. And Wayzata, this is a team that's had trouble scoring this year, that they've really gotten 3 great chances and finished 2 of them so far already. And they have to be pumped up about the way they've been able to put a couple away against, really a pretty good keeper too. And Scheib, that last time, he had it timed right. He got a pretty good piece of it. Ooh, he's a little too confident there, but he got a good piece of that ball, but just not quite enough to deflect it wide of the net.
The Wayzata offense is hounding the Armstrong defense.
Popped up in the air here, and now the Falcons getting control, ball straight up the middle, and
they could have slowed that one down a little bit. That was a 1-on-4.
Yeah, that's the thing. You want to be aggressive and you want to, play at a good tempo, but they didn't read the field probably that well that time. Here's Wagner trying to go to Ogle again. They have found
something.
Yeah, some seams that they are able to work, and catching Armstrong a little bit off guard in the back.
Yeah, they got that synergy going. They might as well take advantage of that as often as you can.
Be a throw here for Armstrong. We've passed the halfway point of this first half. Wayzata leading it by a score of 2-0. Armstrong, has generated some chances, but not a lot of, they've gotten to that last line of D, but then rarely beyond. Here's Feinboy, a shot, and that one will roll well wide of the mark as King watches it sail on by.
Oh, you're right, though. Armstrong has gotten the ball up, and they get to within the 10, 15 yards, and the Wayzata defense is right there to meet them. So they may want to try the same thing that Wayzata did. get something in from the outside in.
Trojans have a little bit of a size advantage too. That Armstrong, some of their really skilled players are not particularly big, and I think the physical battle, it's been tough for them to to get past a couple of those defenders. Fine boy controlling, looking for Arell. Nice job to receive that one under pressure, and then his pass was knocked down. He gets it right back though. Looking for Fine boy, tried to drag that one around the defender but couldn't. Now Sain's going to boom it long, looking for Wagner to run onto this one. And nice job to not panic there and get it out of there by Burns.
Yeah, Burns made the right play, get the ball out of bounds, give your defense a few seconds to go back and get set.
Casimir and Litke will come back into the lineup here for Wayzata. As we get a throw here for the Trojans. I guess the good part, if there is such a thing about this cold night, is I don't think players will get worn out nearly as quick. You don't need to worry about guys getting overheated or really exhausted as much. In fact, they'd rather be out there running around than sitting in their coats on the bench.
That's what we were saying before the game. You'd rather be on the field than on the bench.
Throw in here for Blake Iyer for Wayzata. And that one banged out of play. Another throw about 20, 30 yards up the field here now for the Trojans, as Sain will take this one. Sain surveying the field here, and now chip back out to the outside. Casimir trying to get a step, but it's going to be a goal kick there. He couldn't quite get his body turned enough to get a good strong cross in there. Mondravelis will come back into the Falcons lineup here, and obviously there's still an awful lot of game to be played, but to me that second goal probably makes Armstrong feel a little bit more nervous right now. You don't want to fall behind by any more, and you really would like to get one of your own before the half if possible. Don't want to go down couple goals later into the game. Knocked ahead by Iyer, and then back out of there, and here come the Falcons with Fine Boy. Arell back out to the outside, Fine Boy running it down. And then that one getting away from Mondravelis. That was not Arell that had it momentarily. Now the Falcons had it, but a violation will get a free kick here for the Trojans. Sain's going to swing it all the way around to the left side. Ostapek will chip it ahead with that left foot. Flick to the front, and Scheib will be all alone to handle that one, and he's just going to swing it out to the left. Ball picked off, but McGugan's pass does not connect. We get a throw here for Armstrong. Sain heading it right back out toward the Wayzata bench. Long throw into a crowd, and again it's off of Sain. And you get another throw for the Falcons as Ogle gets set to check back in. We talked about it briefly in the Minnetonka versus Wayzata game we did earlier this season, that Ogle is a guy who had been excelling in summer soccer but was played football. Wayzata football program in the fall last year, and safe to say they're kind of glad that he decided he would come out for the soccer team this year.
Yeah, the soccer team is happy about that.
And you see he's a pretty big, strong kid, and was a decent football player as well. But
yeah, I wouldn't want to run into him.
Trojans able to get control here now, and they've got some numbers ahead. Sain was calling for it. He eventually will get it now. Sain looking, crosses it here, and it's going to roll all the way through. He wanted to get Casimir, but just failed to connect. Scheib will boom it out.
He gets another big one. That's an offensive weapon, isn't it?
Bader heading it out to the outside, but it gets out of play. We will get a throw here for Halverson of the Falcons. And jab to the side, but kept alive. Not waiting for that one to come down. Sane steps in and takes it, and he will boom it long up the line. Scheib's going to come way out, and it just gets to the corner of the box there.
So I'm going to guess another, well, not a bad kick.
Nice ball there. McGugan getting it for Sane, but then broken up. Header back the other way. Nice takeaway, and then the same the other direction. Ooh.
Boy, I tell you, it's
Ooh, that one was, I don't think they saw it. That one probably should have been called as Iyer came up and chopped Feinboy down from the side.
just going to say it's getting very physical down on the field.
Sane looking for some space. He'll play it out wide for Johnny Garcia. Hustled after it and kept it alive. No, he didn't. Actually, it got out of play, so we will get a throw here for Armstrong.
Both teams not wasting any time on these throw-ins.
No, you can see that, and that's what makes it fun was when both teams would like the tempo to be pretty high.
Right.
Wagner and Ogle coming back into the Wayzata lineup, and that seems like not a bad idea when you look at the scoreboard, and they both they've each scored a goal, and the other has assisted on the goals, so they generated some great chances, and 2 out of 3 went in for the Trojans, so they lead 2-0. Long throw in. They tried to go to Ogle there. It's headed out, and we will get another throw for Wayzata. I think for Wayzata, a little bit of feeling probably of, we're glad to not be facing another Lake team. They're so used to seeing the, the Edinas and the Minnetonka, some really good clubs. They had a nice win over Minnetonka the second time around. We saw them get beat by the Skippers on their home field, but then they won at Tonka down the stretch. And obviously most of their games have been really close ones. You have 5 ties in the mix, almost evenly split. 6 wins, 4 losses, 5 ties. So, but there's a nice takeaway by Feinboy. And play goes on as he was played pretty physically there.
Yeah, that's the second time he got dumped in the last couple of minutes.
Arell coming back the other way.
Nice takeaway. Oh. He got double teamed and lost possession. Wow, it's getting nasty down there.
And then Sane intercepts that one. Arell, though, wins it right back for the Falcons. Knocked loose from him. And then chipped ahead for Ogle, but Scheib will get there first. Scheib asking his guys to push forward, and that has been the case a couple times where they've gotten the ball up and they've been just kind of caught with only 1 or 2 and really lost any chance to get an offensive surge because of it.
Sometimes it takes a few moments to get your offensive set, and they're just not getting that opportunity.
Matt Campion throwing it in here for the Falcons. Spinning back there was Mandravelis, and now they're going to play it back to Scheib. Gets plenty of foot on that one. Arell flicking it ahead.
See, this is what we're talking about. It was a 1-on-3 that time, a 1-on-4 actually for Armstrong.
Throw for the Falcons, and they again go very quickly with it, but jabbed away. Here's Sane. Ogle calling for it. Now he goes left side with it for Wagner.
Ogle trying to get in front of the goal area. draws the attention of a couple defenders.
A little bit interesting in that Wayzata typically hasn't been a team that necessarily relies on, playing the ball long and chasing it that much. They like to possess the ball and, play pretty soccer, move it up the field. But
Right.
when you get opportunities and you get, one-on-one ahead, you got to take advantage of what's there.
And it's been working for them, so absolutely you want to keep on putting that pressure on. Here comes the corner.
Sane putting it out front. Ball deflecting away. And now it'll come all the way back out to Sane. Looking to get a corner out of it, and he does. And Halverson a little shaken, it looked like, but they'll get up, and now Sane will put it back into play with a corner kick. We're down to nearly 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. 2-0 Wayzata our score, and another corner kick generated here. Now it will drop it back, and now they get it to Arell. Arell banging it out off of McGugan, so a throw for Armstrong, and played into the middle of the field here. Now looking to Feinboy out on the left. Feinboy knocked away. And then hammered ahead. It bounces off of Ogle though, and Armstrong quickly converting back to offense. Joseph Feinboy. Nice ball onto the right, and then he looks for the return, but it was behind him.
And that time down, Armstrong had a pretty good balance of forwards against the defense, but not able to control it.
Well, we've seen time and time again too, though, Sig, that when they've tried to dribble past defenders, it's almost never working.
Right.
Controlled here by Iyer. And he'll knock it out of play. Another throw coming for the Falcons as Campion gets set to throw it in. Got a chance to meet Matt a little bit this summer over and playing in the summer lacrosse program, and talked with him, a hockey player as well. And don't see that many guys who play 3 sports in a big school in a competitive conference like this. So hats off to a guy that's able to do that.
I think we have a few seconds here. Zach Johnson is center referee. Keith Rock is AR1, and Max Seeger is AR2. Haven't really been able to call their names so far in the first half, so it's a relatively clean game in terms of fouls, even though it is very physical.
Yeah, it's usually a good thing when you're not noticing the officials that much, though, right?
But that's part of it. The other part of it is there's so much action going on, couldn't get in there and say anything.
Right. Knocked away from Ogle. We will get a throw here coming up for the Trojans. Back out Sane. And Scheib had to knock that one down to himself. Wasn't a great angle to actually put the ball in the net, but it was, he created a chance at least out of it.
Yeah, and it could have gotten a rebound.
Here's Wagner receiving the pass. He scored the first goal of the night, assisted on the second. Wagner getting a step to the outside. Now he cuts it in sharp, putting it out front. Ogle, and Scheib comes out for the save. Ogle nearly had his second goal right there, but Scheib able to come out and get a piece of that one, smother it.
Great play by the keeper, Scheib. He came out there and did that foot save. Because as you said, Ogle was ready to just pounce on it. Watch this. Here comes Scheib. Just gets there in time to deflect it.
It's always kind of that thing, when do I go or do I come off the line? And if he didn't right there, with that much room at that distance, Ogle probably was going to put that one in. So great decision by Scheib to come out. Header gets it out of there. And then, of course, sometimes it doesn't work for you. The first time when he came way out and Wagner kind of just calmly sidestepped him and put it into an open net, and then you say, hey, what's he doing out there? But no,
That time he made the perfect play.
Absolutely. Jacob Hugenacher, number 7 in there for Wayzata. Gonna play it over to the left side now. Falcons trying to get control. Instead, it's ahead for Sane. He blocked that clearing attempt. and gets away from Halverson as we approach 3 minutes remaining in this first half. And we had a sub getting ready to come in, so that throw did not count. They'll redo it. McGugan is coming back into the field here for the Trojans. Hugenacher will check out. And for some of the guys, Jacob or maybe just a few of the others out there tonight too, it's playoff time now. And, probably for some of the subs, the minutes might be pretty short and they might, feel disappointed. But, you have to kind of realize that at this time, it's not about developing anymore. Right. It's about we have to win tonight. And that's the case for every team in the playoffs here. Here's a chance now. Zolzinski's shooting. Oh, he missed that one badly as he had quite a bit of space. Jared Zolzinski, the senior. But actually, they got a piece of it, so it is a corner.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I don't think he hit it quite that bad, and it was deflected by an Armstrong foot.
This is the 7th corner in the first half for Wayzata.
Sane lining it up, and boy, those can come back to bite you when you keep giving up this many. Tried to play to the outside there, instead broken up, and here's Sane. Sane putting it out front, and Scheib gets there before Ogle can get another redirect goal like he had earlier.
It was a nice play by Sane. 17, good pass, but Scheib's right there to pick it up as Ogle was coming up on top of him.
And Armstrong really kind of an unforced turnover there as well. That one nearly led to a goal.
That's very dangerous to have. You cannot afford to give up the ball that easily in your own zone when you have this type of caliber teams.
Long free kick served in, but the header knocks it out of there. Arell then charges in after it, and he knocked Sane down. We will get a free kick here for Wayzata. Trojans getting set to put it back in play with about a minute to go here in this first half. Ethan Wagner, Jake Ogle, the goal scorers for the Trojans. We get a foul here on Armstrong and another free kick, and this one, getting into the area where Sane might be able to put one out front and create a dangerous opportunity.
They're getting set for their attack. Here it comes.
Comes low with it. It bounces to the front. Now Ogle pushes it outside. The shot and a goal. Wayzata adds another late in the half as Adi Bhatti buries it for the Trojans.
Well, you don't want to give that many opportunities to this Wayzata team.
Another look is off this free kick. It bounces around a little bit, knocked over. Ogle was going to shoot, then he knocks it out to the outside, and at that point, Bhati's just in perfect range to come up firing, and Bennett Scheib at the last moment was going to try and come out and smother that, but no chance to do so. Whoa, that really hurts if you're Armstrong. We talked about, you'd like to cut the margin. Right. Instead, a goal in the last minute for Wayzata. And now 3-0 lead. They haven't started the clock yet.
Oh, their clock's not going.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe. I think that's going to be halftime. They didn't start the clock when it was supposed to after that goal. So,
but the referee kept that time on the field, so that is the half.
And a great first half for the visitors. Wayzata coming in here as the number 5 seed, and they have opened up a 3-0 lead on Armstrong. We'll have first half highlights, and then our second half of soccer coming up here. This is the Section 6AA Boys Soccer Tournament here on CCX Sports.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. A cold night for the opening round in the Section 6AA Boys Soccer Tournament, and Wayzata has come here to Armstrong and dominated, leading it 3-0 at halftime as we check out some first half highlights in tonight's contest. And the turnover right here leads to an early shot attempt, maybe a sign of things to come. Scheib stopped that one, but Wayzata got some more opportunities. Sane sending it into the front. It bounces away. Ogle trying to get it, just couldn't quite control it. Wound up being a corner kick, but they did not miss on all of them for sure. Ogle playing it ahead to Wagner, and watch Scheib coming out, and he just sidestepped him, and then he's got a big wide open net right there. Ethan Wagner scoring in the 7th minute to make it 1-0, and then same combination works in the other direction the next time. Wagner ahead to Ogle, and this is the time when he stopped and did not pull the trigger there. They knocked it away from him. But you'll see in a moment, here's Wagner putting it out front. Ogle getting there. Scheib got a piece of it. Great goal there. And Ogle appreciating the setup from his buddy Wagner right there. Made it 2-0. And then late in the half, off a free kick, it bounces around and then knocked away from Ogle, but it goes right to Adi Badi waiting there, and he deposits it in the top corner for the goal. And a 3-0 halftime lead for the Trojans as we see the stats.
And looking at the numbers, Armstrong with 3 shots, 1 on goal, 8 fouls, and 1 corner kick. Wayzata with 6 shots, 4 on goal, 5 fouls, and 7 corner kicks. Wayzata hitting a 66% shot on goal percentage in the first half. Armstrong with a 33%.
Well, still a lot of time to go, but Armstrong certainly has their work cut out for them. We'll see if they can battle back and make a game of this one, or if Wayzata is going to coast to the win here in this first round game. It's Wayzata 3 and Armstrong 0. We'll be back with our second half here on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
We get set for half number 2 here. We'll see if things will be different, or if Wayzata is going to kind of continue to control this one. As we said, Armstrong, certainly had some times of possessing the ball and all of that, but in terms of, great scoring chances, it was all Wayzata. And there's a look, we said Dominic Duenas, the playoff tradition, he said, no matter the weather, I got shorts on. And I was like, wow, that's not something that I would be wearing tonight.
Oh, I love it. Great outfit.
And he stopped at the school store to get that Wayzata hat today, he said, too. So
I love that hat.
I have a feeling we'll be seeing that look again if they advance here. You get a little superstitious and coming out, and he has to be pretty happy at the way his team played in that first half, as they were very solid defensively and then generated quite a bit of offense. As we said, this is a team that really has had some trouble scoring this year, but you wouldn't know it by that first half.
Well, the first half was fast-paced, physical, a lot of back and forth, and tremendous defense, as you said, by Wayzata.
Long ahead, they try to go to Wagner, and the Falcons will play it back to Scheib. And boomed long the other way here. Bader's going to play it out to the outside and not give Fry any chance to get to it. It'll be a throw for Armstrong.
That's an interesting call. I thought they were going to put that ball back to the keeper, let him bring it out.
Who do you have?
Good look there at number 10, Arel. Had a great first half.
Arel trying to get room to get a cross away here, and knocked away, though. It'll be Wayzata's corner kick, and I'm sure it's some way of saying there's still another half to go. Don't rest on your laurels. It was probably what Wayzata talked about at halftime, that you don't want, you want your kids to feel good about the way the half went, but you don't want them thinking the game's over.
Right. You can't be complacent. This is too good of a team.
And picked up by Feinboy now to the outside. Both he and Arell, I thought, showed certainly some flashes of their great skill in that first half, but at times were really bottled up too, and at times banged up a little bit, like we're seeing there. Sane getting control here for Wayzata, playing it ahead.
Yeah, I think the Wayzata defense is zeroing in on both those players, especially Arell.
Be a throw in for Wayzata. Yeah, and they've been physical with them. It's been a pretty physical first half, and Arell and Feinboy got knocked around a little bit, and not that it was all one-sided either, as Wayzata felt some bumps and bruises. Sane was knocked down a couple times for sure. And throw here by Sane. Falcons unable to clear. They'll get it back out for Sane, trying to step back to the middle, but he was challenged and had it taken.
Good job that time by the Armstrong defense to get that takeaway and go the other way.
Ostapek lofting it ahead. Sane tracking it, and he'll get to it first here for the Trojans.
He's got 3 forwards with him.
Tried to get it to Wagner, and it nearly clicked on the header, but not quite. And now Armstrong trying to bring it back the other way here with Hassan. He gets the pass back, and Campion returning it. Now they swing it around to Trinwian. And that pass goes awry though, and it'll be a throw for Wayzata. Despite the early goal for Wayzata, I thought Armstrong probably for the first 15 minutes or so played pretty decent, but just overall as the half went on, Wayzata got more and more of the better chances, and really, it's always kind of a cliche to say, and they could have had even more, but there were a couple more opportunities that, I think that had to be a little bit alarming for Armstrong. Not only did 3 go in, there were probably another 3 good chances. Here's Wagner trying to turn. Wagner looking to get a shot down. He goes.
Uh-oh.
And this might be, it's a foul on Wayzata.
Oh, wow. Armstrong looked out on that one.
Here's Wagner. He's really trying to draw one right here. And boy. That one could have definitely been. And then they get the call on Ogo coming in, pushing out.
He was upset at the first part of it.
Yeah, I think Campion might have gotten away with a takedown there. And again, in a playoff game, they want to be certain if they're going to award a penalty kick. And I think Armstrong got a break there, though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So throw in for the Trojans. Again, watch for the Armstrong-Hopkins girls 6AA quarterfinal. Wally Langfellow will be joining Sig for the call of that one here, as Armstrong girls, pretty good season for them as well. They certainly had some good moments down the stretch of the season, and earning themselves a number 3 seed for the 6AA tournament as well. So be fun to watch them in action as well. And again, Armstrong fans probably recognizing this, that late in the regular season we were scheduled to tape their game over at Maple Grove, both the boys and girls. That was on that Thursday night, the 20th of September, when the weather got pretty nasty and those games were postponed, and so we were not able to get the Falcons on during the regular season. So glad we had this opportunity tonight to get them on in the playoffs, although the boys' game, at least so far, is not going the way they had hoped. Campion pushing it over for Hassan. And it's knocked out of play by the Trojans. It'll be a throw here for Armstrong. Armstrong, it's when you've been playing so well late, and then I'm sure they had to feel a little shell shock coming into halftime, but that's the time when you have to just fire, try and get fired up and say, gosh, one at a time, we come at them hard. We, at least can make things interesting if we work hard and generate some chances. But, based on what you saw in the first half, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to come by because the Wayzata defense, as we said several times, has been absolutely stalwart. I think you had the right word, Jay, early on. The defense was getting in there and not letting anything get past the first player.
And it didn't seem like, and here's the Trojans. We'll get back to that point in a moment as they come up the right side. Knocked away and out of play. It didn't seem like it was anything that required like out of the ordinary effort either. They were just in good position. It wasn't like somebody had to make a sliding tackle at the last second or things like that.
Yeah, if you watch the Wayzata defense, next time they get down, we'll point it out. They stay in their formation, stay where they're supposed to be, and when a player comes through, the second player comes up to attack them. Here we come.
Here's Sane putting it out front for oh
my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a header.
Ogle will get his second of the night as he gets a piece of this ball after Sane served it to the middle, and Ogle getting the fourth goal of the match. Let's see where this one hits. I wasn't sure if it hit his chest. I think it was his shoulder, maybe.
They were right underneath the shot. Well, here it is again. We'll slow it down a little bit. It looks like it's off his shoulder, right between the legs of the keeper. Didn't.
Because I admit at first I was wondering, is this going to be called a handball? But it didn't really look like Armstrong, was saying so either. It looked like it must have been the shoulder. He did a good job of keeping that right arm down and away from the ball.
Yeah, I thought he hit it with a header and get underneath the keeper, but that was beautiful. Okay, now the rock and a hard place for Armstrong. They got to start coming up and get some offense going.
When we were talking about late in the first half when it was still 2-0, you're thinking, well, it'll take some effort, but they're still in it. But boy, at 4-0, I don't know. It's hard to say with a straight face that they're still in this one. They're going to make something happen quick if they're going. Now here's a shot and they goal. Well,
why you call that one?
Just when I said it's got to happen soon if it's going to happen, they get a goal as Mondravelis lofting that one over Perrin King and in. So Armstrong on the board for the first time as you get another look. Giannis Mondravelis lofting it right over King and in. And he misjudged that one. Certainly it was a good shot, but he didn't have a great angle on it either. Now Wagner hustling back. Wagner puts it out front. Wayzata not content to just say, well, we've got enough goals. They continued the attack. So each team scoring early in the second half. It's 4-1 Trojans. And Armstrong, I think right now thinking that, we've got to be willing to take some shots if we get opportunities like that. Wayzata's goalkeeping this year hasn't been as strong maybe as in some of the past when they've had really all-state, caliber guys in those state tournament runs. And that time I thought King maybe came out a little bit too far there, but Wayzata still in command certainly, but Armstrong I think energized by that, getting themselves on the board.
Yeah, that would have taken a pretty good goalkeeping stop because that ball was just under the crossbar, if not deflected off of it.
Arell trying to trap this one down, and he does. He's going to play it back for Scheib.
So that'll make it exciting for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, you don't get the feeling that any of the guys on the field think this game is over, and they shouldn't. A lot can happen. And
these players have been in too many games to get complacent or relaxed. And that goal absolutely would wake up the Wayzata team if they did.
There's Jacob Fisher coming into the lineup here for the Trojans. Well, and the other thing about it, too, for Wayzata, besides the fact that, you're not thinking it's over and all that, you want to get in on the fun and score something yourself, too. So there's incentive. Ogle is going to get a yellow card for protesting that call. something he said or did was not appreciated, and that didn't take long. Or is it Sane? I'm sorry, I thought Ogle was closer, but it looks like it might be Sane who gets the yellow.
Yeah, when you look at, there was a discussion that should not have taken place. Here's a play with Ogle.
Yeah, so it was not Ogle, it was
Sane,
it looks like, who gets the yellow, because Ogle's still out there. Gonna bring Huganacher back into the lineup here. It's gonna be Scheib taking this free kick here for the Falcons. Way out on the field as they want to take advantage of his leg, and he booms it into the middle. And knocked away, and the Trojans will get to it out there. Ostapek looking up the line, trying to go to Ogle. Instead, it went into the Armstrong bench. We'll get a throw here for the Falcons.
Yeah, this is an attack that we haven't seen too much from Wayzata over the years, because we're used to seeing possession of it. Trojans having no problem sending the ball down deep.
Nice turn with it there. The Falcons able to advance and knocked away. They regain briefly here. Leon coming in there. Ball played long ahead, looking for Wagner.
2-on-3.
Wagner trying to get a step to the middle, looking for Ogle.
Had the right idea, but missed on the pass.
Yeah, Campion was there to knock it out of there. We will get a throw for Wayzata. Kind of interesting on that on that yellow card, I think, for Dominic Duenas. I mean, you want to, sometimes your first instinct too is to scold your player a little bit, but I also think that he thought that the official was really quick with a card there, and he was kind of standing up for his guy a little bit too. Controlled here by the Falcons. Hassan Ursan. Arel trying to give it back to him, but McGugan read it and took it. Now Bader spinning it forward for Ogle. Flicked ahead. Well, you can just see even in these little one-on-one matchups how Armstrong has been energized, that they're more aggressive now, and then there's a trip called on the Trojans. We'll get a free kick for Armstrong. They were frankly losing most of the one-on-one battles in the first half, but lately it's changed a little bit.
I would imagine the coaching staff told them, you got to get those one-on-ones.
Arel sending it out front. Now Ogle up with it, jabbed away from him and then served up long. Falcons play it back and then looking to the outside now. Hassan with it, playing it for Arel up that right side. Arel looking to turn the corner now, puts the brakes on, surveying the defense a little bit, and that one blocked. He wanted a handball, but he really played it right into the player, so not going to call that.
No, they're not going to call that. I like what Armstrong is doing, though. They're coming down the side, getting some shots from the outside in. They weren't doing that in the first half, so that's a correction that they made.
Yeah, I think in some instances, in many instances in the first half, they were a little too confident in their ability to dribble at past players, I think, and maybe weren't using their teammates as well as they needed to. But frankly, at the same time, we noted it a lot of times in the first half that they were not moving up quickly enough. They were, a lot of times being caught 1-on-4, 2-on-4, or whatever.
Yep. So they made that adjustment also.
Throw in header flicked out of there. Ogle turning with it. He'll play it ahead, but Wacker is there to break it up for the Falcons. Nice step in there to break that play up, and then a in turn intercepted the other direction. Now Hassan with it for Armstrong, but Wagner had a head of steam and took it away, and then gave it away though, as Rian coming forward with it. Taken back from him there by Hugenacher, and Trojans gain possession, looking for Ogle. Ogle is big and strong and hard to move off that ball. When they send one long from like that, he's just able to shield that defender and kind of keep it for himself.
Yeah, and there's nothing they can do about it. He's just so big.
Ogle with the header, trying to get it to Wagner. Defenders are there this time though for Armstrong. And then we'll get a call going against the Trojans here. Under 25 minutes to play here in the second half. Wayzata led 3-0 at halftime. They added a fourth, and then Armstrong got its first and only goal to make it 4-1, and it definitely energized them, but it's still obviously very much an uphill battle for the Falcons, although they have certainly, you know, at worst gotten evened up with the play here lately. Nice takeaway by Ostapek as he leads things back for the Trojans. He'll go to Wagner. Wagner rolling it low along the ground, and that one booted ahead.
Yep. Falcon defense came back strongly. They had 5 players back there to block that.
Campion will bang it ahead. Bader knocking it down. Now McGugan. Wayzata that time got a little bunched up and not much developed there, so Hassan with it for Armstrong. Nice ball ahead there. Not. Drops it back and then got underneath it too much. Banged up high and over the top. Goal kick for Wayzata. They bring subs. Evan McGugan coming in. Also Matthew Hudson. Section semifinals are Saturday in this section, so winner of this game, I don't know a score yet on the other, but you know, you'd have to, or there isn't a score yet, I'm sorry, a 7 o'clock game. You'd have to figure Washburn, the top seed, probably the prohibitive favorite to beat Richfield in that game, so the winner of this game would probably play at Washburn. And that one spins over toward the Falcons bench. We'll get a throw here for Armstrong. Hassan met there. He pushes it forward. It's out off Wayzata. Throw here for the Falcons. Campion throwing it in here for Armstrong. And knocked out this time, I think, by the Falcons. No, maybe not. There'll be a throw for Armstrong again. Arell getting set to bring it in. Ostapek saying, didn't you see that? Throw out front, and that one directed out of there. Burns playing it ahead, and a nice little pass. Not trying to cross it, but nobody home.
But that's better than what they were doing in the first half. They're getting these crosses, they're getting some shots, some opportunities.
And we've got a stoppage here. I don't know if this was an injured player or I believe the AR was trying to get the center referee's attention. And we might begin to see a card issued here. Yeah, we are. Ostapek was protesting. And I heard him, I believe it was him, say he drew blood. So Ostapek's going to get a yellow card. You can see right now he's upset, but he's trying his best to hold it in and just walk over to the bench and go from there. And that one was not the center referee who heard it. It was the AR who was trying to get his attention. And
you got to be careful what you say on the field. I've seen more than a few players being carted off or carded for saying something to the referee.
Yeah, and really, more often than not, it's that than in a physical action. Falcons able to get the interception here. Ooh, and there's a takedown by Armstrong. Fine boy had been bumped around quite a bit, and he just kind of got the arm up around the shoulder and brought him down. As you get another look at it here. Right here. Oh, that one's going to draw it every time.
Yeah, climbing on somebody's shoulder is not a good thing in soccer.
Tried to go to Wagner. If that one had gotten through, he would have been alone.
Actually, that was a pretty impressive play because Wagner was hanging out there all by his lonesome, and nobody saw him.
Campion was the lone defender back and in the right place, and he made the play for Armstrong, which in the first half, obviously they gave up a couple of opportunities and where they didn't seal up the back as well as they needed to. Be a throw here for the Falcons. And a battle for it here. We'll get a push call. You can see maybe a little bit of frustration mounting for Armstrong a little bit right now. They obviously trail on the scoreboard, and they've been bumped around quite a bit here tonight, and kind of trying to answer back a little bit, and have gotten a couple of calls against themselves as well. So it's a physical game. It's an emotional game, and as we said coming into the night, for each team, you lose and you're done for the season. So there's going to be people laying it out on the line here tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of motivation here.
I assume it goes like
that one booted right back out of play. We'll get another throw coming up here for Armstrong. Trailing at 4-1. They did get one goal on the board and kind of came hard after that, but nothing more sense for either club at this point. Campion knocking that one down. Bounces back to Body, who got in on the scoring tonight. Second goal of the season for him. That goal late in the first half. That was really a backbreaker for Armstrong to come up, give one up in the last 30 seconds of the first half to make it 3-zip.
Oh yeah, giving up a goal with just seconds to go in the half is very painful.
Push to the outside here, and Falcons trying to get an attack going up that left side. Not lost the race to that one though. Now Wagner turning it middle.
Doesn't have the numbers yet. Here they come.
And
it's a weak shot.
Yeah, took a long one, a little quicker than needed there maybe, and Scheib will grab it. Popped in the air with the header there, not coming back for it. Oh, and they tried to go back with it. It was intercepted, and we have a stoppage. Is this an injury?
It's either an injury or equipment. I think it's an injury.
Yeah, it looks like they're waving the trainer on as I think it's Fine Boy. He got back up, but then the referee recognized that I'm sorry, not Fine Boy, but not.
It's 22, yeah.
And reaching for that calf or shin there. So a little bit of a break for everybody here. Again, we were talking about how it's not a warm night, so you don't necessarily first think cramps, but it still could be.
Can't really tell. I'm not sure if they're working on his ankle or his knee or. Well, he's limping, but he's coming off on his own.
Garcia coming into the lineup now for Wayzata, and Fry will come in for Armstrong. Kind of like almost like a unofficial timeout here as we have that injury. Everybody kind of taking a deep breath on both teams and then getting ready for the Final 17:45 of the contest.
He's windowed.
Trojans had it briefly, and then Arell deflects it to the outside. Feinboy had it knocked away. And they'll hustle after and at least make it a throw-in instead of a corner.
Good thinking.
Armstrong trying to hurry it back into play and see if they can catch him, but they did not. Knocked away from Arell, and he will take this throw right out to the front area. King overran it, and the Trojans got away with one there. Armstrong, just nobody in the right spot there to be able to put that one. It would have been an empty net. So it's not over yet. We had a foul call there against Armstrong as that pass was made. And a free kick coming up here for the Trojans. And a header along the sideline and bang back ahead by the Falcons, but Bader breaks that up. Battle back and forth in the air, and another high boomer there. Fry knocks it and then popped up by the Trojans. Return pass taken by Mondravelis, who has Armstrong's only goal tonight. And we get a hold called there. It'll be a free kick for Armstrong. Time is not their friend now as we're ticking down toward 15 to go and they're down 3. Header pops up here. Here's a chance. Knocked down. Another opportunity. That one blocked as well. Mondravelis getting a shot, and that one will sail wide of the mark. So look like possible opportunities, but again, Wayzata's defense staying in position.
And that's been their mainstay for the entire match. They've been staying home, staying in their position, and blocking those shots. There's going to be some welts tomorrow.
Michael Barica, number 26, coming into the lineup for Wayzata. And he actually replacing Patrick Weah on the playoff roster for the Trojans. So again, he is not expected to play in the playoffs at all. Get a throw here for Wayzata. Not that there, can't be some more scoring yet or whatever, Sig, but you kind of feel like maybe Wayzata's taken Armstrong's best shot now in the second half. After they had that goal,
right,
they were kind of coming real hard and it looked like they might, maybe at least have a chance to whittle into the lead a little. But now it feels like it's just sort of settled back into even play and not a whole lot of, chances happening.
No, they've been going back to the tightened defense that they did in the first half. Although Armstrong is definitely much more aggressive in the second half.
Big collision here, and this one will go against Armstrong. It was kind of one of those where it was hard to tell. Both guys went after it pretty hard, banged into each other, and down it went. You'll see Arell is called. Oh, yeah, as he came in from behind there. So free kick here for the Trojans. Boomed long up the middle. The header flicked, and Scheib will come out and grab it here for the Falcons.
Boy, you gotta love his kicks, right?
A lot of leg there for sure. That one missed it. Trying to get it out of there a little bit. Zolzinski. Falcons trying their best to get a chance. King comes way out wide to the right and will scoop it up.
So he sends his players upfield, and here comes the kick. Flicked up ahead, but still fighting for the ball.
And Trojans end up clearing this one out of play. We'll get a throw for Armstrong. Fine boy looking to get something going. Now Arell looking for the return pass, but a nice interception. And Campion came up to steal it back. And this pass back, and you see Armstrong, as we said, has been more aggressive and gotten to more loose balls and everything in the second half, but it just hasn't necessarily translated into scoring chances, which obviously when you're down by this margin is what you dearly need.
Yeah, and there was see the defense behind here? See how they react, but they still stay in their position.
And trying to bang it out front and maybe at worst get a corner kick, but that didn't even happen as it stayed in play. And lofted out front by Humphrey, and that one will bounce all the way in. So Perrin King out to grab it up here for the Trojans. Aiden McGugan knocking it ahead. And he gets the pass back here. Looking up the middle with it. And going down hard is Evan McGugan.
I was expecting a whistle, but didn't hear one.
Wagner and Ogle are out and have been out, and I wonder if they might be out for the night now. You got this 3-goal margin, and it's been a pretty physical game. I don't think it'd be the worst idea to maybe give them a break. Here's a chance for Armstrong, and shot was deflected a little bit, though, it looked like, and King able to make a relatively easy stop on that one. Knocked away from Arell. Now Fry coming back to meet it here for Armstrong. And Ravelis playing it out to the left side. Fine boy.
Falcons doing a good job of moving the ball around. And then it's taken away.
That pass ahead, though, intercepted. Armstrong playing quick with the ball right now and doing a lot of good things, but the problem is they're down 4-1. If you're Wayzata right now, you're content to kind of let them play the ball some in midfield, and just so you're not giving anything up. Nice step in to take it away there, and Hassan will come up with it for Armstrong. Campion playing it into a crowd there. To the outside, nice hustle to keep it alive.
Well, I don't know how he kept that from going over the touchline.
Fry sending it ahead. That one is hammered out. We will get a throw here for Armstrong. Subs, though, not coming back in for Armstrong, which is good to see. He was shaken up earlier. And for Wayzata, they've got Hugenacher, Casimir, and Ryan Allmeyer coming in. Arell will take the throw again here now for Armstrong. And knocked away, and the Trojans will knock it upfield a little bit, not for long, but pushed ahead, and they're going to play it back to Scheib. And then lofted back in as Scheib gets a little exercise in, running way out to retrieve this one.
Yeah, he hasn't seen much action in the last 10 minutes. Now we're playing back and forth. Armstrong trying to maintain control in the midfield, and they do.
Yeah, as we're mentioning, we haven't seen Ogle in a while. We haven't seen Wagner or Sane for quite a while either. I think Wayzata hoping to just get out of this one with the win and no injuries or anything. And a little shaken up there is Casimir as he was knocked down. Right here.
Oh, stepped on his foot.
Gabara, good sportsmanship there as he checked to make sure he's all right. You know, it has been a really physical game, but I wouldn't say a dirty game. Both teams going hard.
It has not been a dirty game at all. No one's throwing anything or purposely tripping. It's just hard play.
Throw in here for Bati for Wayzata. Throw for the Trojans as Hassan was unable to keep that one in. That pass broken up and then boomed long. Good heads up play to get to it though. Wilczynski. Now Campion. Played that off a Trojan's foot and he will take the throw.
He put the brakes on to get his players set.
Yeah, he wanted to go quick and he looked up and realized nobody was even really looking yet.
Right. We're not ready.
Campion will play it way back to his keeper. And Scheib knocking it upfield. Play to the outside where Gabarro will run it down. And out of play, we get a throw for Wayzata, and they're content right now with this, where we're playing a lot of the game, at the midfield, and neither team generating chances. But when you're the team that's got a 3-goal lead, you don't, necessarily need any more. Just play things out.
Yeah, you're just going goal clock. Foul called against Wayzata.
Falcons trying to get something generated here, but this one knocked out of harm's way for the moment, but then Hassan takes it. Rika coming up with it for the Trojans. Not for long though. Armstrong pushing it to the middle, but no go, and then the play goes on. And now we get a foul called against Wayzata. Boy, there's 3 different players down on the field right there. And we got time called, I think because Allmeyer, I think he might have gotten an elbow in the back of the head.
Yeah, he did. He got hit in the back of the head.
And then
he's slow to get up, so they're going to check him out.
And maybe it wasn't so much an elbow as he fell into him and kind of knocked that head forward a little bit. And I think maybe more so than being really hurt, as he was trying to draw attention to the fact that, he thought it should have been a call. And so they instead, say.
Yeah, he's a little upset that he didn't get a call.
It'll be an Armstrong free kick here as we tick down to close to 5 minutes to go. 5:12 remaining in the contest, and a 4-1 lead here for the Trojans. Out front it comes, knocked away. Falcons trying to line it up for a shot, and then we get a foul called against Feinboy. It was kind of an excuse me one there, but Arell spinning with it now for the Falcons. And he is met though.
Well, how many times has that happened in this match? A defender comes up there and just pokes the ball right back the opposite direction.
Yeah, and after a while, it has to get a little bit frustrating too if you're Armstrong. Maybe some things that have been working in your win streak down the stretch aren't working tonight, and you kind of scratch your head a little bit and say, what do we need to do different?
More passing. Get rid of the ball. Don't allow the defender to get up there and poke it away. But you got white jerseys all over the place when Armstrong has the ball. Turnover.
Rika pushing it ahead there, trying to get it to Fisher. Battle for it here. Hudson had it for a moment, lost it. Here comes Knott for Armstrong. Puts on the brakes and drops that pass back.
Trying to set something up. Looking and looking, trying to find a player, but Wayzata's there again. Sends the ball over the touchline.
Wholesale changes now for the teams. Kong Duong, number 7, coming in for Armstrong. Also Jordan French, number 13. 19 is Jake Hansen, as they're trying to get some guys a little bit of time on the field late in this contest. Obviously, the outcome no longer in doubt.
Yeah, unless they come up with a 3-goal miracle in the next 3 minutes, it's going to be Wayzata with a victory.
Trojans gain possession here and send it ahead. Campion's going to use his keeper. Armstrong obviously very comfortable and confident with that, as Scheib's got a great leg back there and allows him to kind of get the offense started and allow the other guys to move up a little bit. Knocked away. We will get a throw coming for Wayzata as the Trojans scoring in the 7th minute of the game to take the 1-0 lead. They got another one just about halfway through the first half, and then a kind of a backbreaker late with 28 seconds to go in the first half. Took a 3-0 lead into halftime. Each team has scored once in the second half, and that is where we sit right now at 4-1 as Jack Halverson comes back in to the Armstrong lineup here. Well, not the way that the Armstrong seniors wanted the season to end tonight here, getting a home game in the first round of the playoffs. But got to tell you, in a 4-5 game, getting Wayzata as the opponent is a pretty tough draw. I know what the record is this year, and I know maybe they're not strong as they've been the last couple of years, but we said in the pregame, still a pretty formidable team to try and knock out of the playoffs, and they showed it tonight.
It certainly did. Armstrong played really hard. A lot of action, a lot of back and forth. I think the big difference, well, aside from the more scoring, the defense from Wayzata has been just rock solid tonight. And I think Coach Dominic should keep that hat.
Yeah, the hat and the shorts combo.
It's working.
It's supposed to be a little bit nicer weather for the semis Saturday, certainly than what we're seeing today. Temperature in the 50s, but you never know. We could still get some cold stuff down the last few outdoor remaining games for any of the soccer teams which are still alive, as we're under a minute to play in this contest. And congratulations to Armstrong. A solid regular season. The first playoff game not going the way that they would like, and they will lose and be eliminated here this evening. And for Wayzata, by their standards, not the regular season that they were hoping for, but they come out with a really nice showing here in this quarterfinal, and they will advance into the semifinals on Saturday, and as we said, more than likely going to be playing at Washburn, the top seed, depending on their outcome, obviously, in their quarterfinal game this evening.
Yeah, unless we have a major upset.
So we wind down to the end of this one, and it is Wayzata with a convincing win here in the 4-5 game here in Section 6AA as the Trojans secure the W. Our final here tonight is Wayzata 4 and Armstrong 1. A reminder to watch for the Falcons girls game against Hopkins as well on CCX Sports. For Sig Lagery and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. That'll do it for the boys game tonight from Armstrong High School.